Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. Today's video is all about Disciples Liberation. As you may have read from the title of the video, basically console and PC are now up to level, and we have just received the 1.1 update for Disciples Liberation. We have been waiting for this a little while, so we're going to go over a few of the features that have been added in. There are a few features that have been added. There's been a few fixes that's been added, but there's a few things that I wanted to talk about. If you want to see the full patch notes, I will put a link to them down in the description. With that link, there will also be a link to the Discord. So if you are looking for a bit of multiplayer action, maybe you want to go one-on-one against me in Disciples Liberation in the multiplayer, come along, join up, and come say hi. And if you enjoyed this video or find it entertaining, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Now, into the update. So this information comes directly off Calypto Media's website itself. With the new difficulty settings that have been added, we've now got story, normal, hard, and brutal settings. We can change those things, and we can now turn combat speed up to 300%. I believe PC could already do that now. Now I've gone ahead and I've been playing a little bit on brutal setting, and what that actually does is it turns the enemy HP to 1.25 and the enemy power to 1.5. Now I'm not entirely sure whether this is going to rapidly change the game. Personally, I don't think so. I think it's still a little bit too easy. I've been playing for a few hours with this update, and like I said, personally, I still think it's a little bit too easy. But let me know down in the comments what you guys feel. Is the game now a little bit more balanced? You're finding it a little bit harder? What they've also done is that the mana pools, the health pools, that now recharges every 15 minutes. Beforehand, it was very, very quick. I think it was around 5 minutes or something like that. Or maybe you had unlimited, but now that's been changed. You can only use them once every 15 minutes. So you're not going to constantly be able to heal outside of combat. So maybe having a bigger army pool to swap in and out different people might be the way to go. They've also given you the ability now to dismiss unwanted units. Beforehand, you'd have an awful lot of units. There wasn't really a way to get rid of them. Now you can just dismiss them. However, I think that's a little bit short, because I was hoping in dismissing them you could actually get gold in your return, kind of like selling your units on, because something I struggled with when I played Disciples Liberation is gold at the beginning of the game is really hard to get, and if I had an option to sell my units for gold, I would definitely take you up on that. But with the way the game is at the moment, I just don't see the incentive to get rid of those extra units, because you are literally just disbanding them. Boom, they're gone. You get nothing from it, apart from being able to declutter, I guess. And on top of that, there has actually been a couple of gameplay feature changes as well. Now we have the summoning portal. If you manage to activate all the symbols, you will get given a powerful ally for that battle. I think that's kind of cool. I think it adds to the game a little bit, kind of, makes you think about what you're going to do in that battle beforehand. Are you going to go for, trying to get that extra powerful unit, or are you going to go straight for the kill and try to wipe everyone out? I still think that you're still too able to kill everyone a little bit too quickly. Therefore, actually finding the need to get that extra unit is questionable, but I like the idea and the incentive. Also, on top of that, we have got unstable mana shards. If you manage to destroy them, your unit will be given a powerful buff. So I quite like that as well. I just think that these things add a little bit more to each battlefield. They're not in every single level or every single field that you're playing in, but they are there and they are existing. So it just adds an extra dimension, which personally I quite like. I think anything that adds to gameplay is definitely a bonus. And I think down the line, as more patches release, I think more things can be done to the battlefield to make these a little bit more unique and a little bit more interesting. And lastly, one of the most requested fixes has now been done to the game, and that's that when you get into a late game, when you get onto those boss fights, that the game no longer freezes. You're actually able to complete it. Now, personally, I never had this problem, but I did have an awful lot of people comment telling me that they had this issue, that had people in the Discord asking if I knew a way around it as well. Personally, on the Xbox Series S, I never had this issue, but it has finally been fixed. There's been quite a few different fixes actually been brought in, mainly for the PlayStation. I think this game is a little bit tricky to play on the PlayStation, along with a few other games like this too. So it's nice to see all these changes, all these balances. Personally, I was hoping for a little bit more for the first update, but I'm glad to see that they have been active here. You know, from the very beginning when we played this game, we wanted it to be harder. They finally delivered on that. I know that PC have had this update for a while now. I think it's since before Christmas. I think consoles are at least a month late in getting it. But it's good to see that it's finally out. It's happened. The game is harder. I would still like it to be a little bit harder. And the boss has now finally been fixed. So hopefully you guys can finally complete the game. I think a few of you actually abandoned this game because you were unable to complete it because of just how much the game crashed. I think I even had someone comment saying, you know, it was a big feat just being able to complete the game. It was so widespread, people just couldn't beat the final boss of the game because the crashing was just horrendous. I think beforehand you could actually get about halfway down before the game would crash, and there was literally no way to go around it. So really good to see that's happened because it's something that needed happening. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think of this update, what you would like to see actually change with the game. Where would you like to see this game go? I know that originally this had a lot of people that were big fans of the original Disciples not liking the game. Hopefully you guys have actually given this game another go now, because I think it is one of the better games that released last year. Disciples Liberation was actually my game of the year on the channel. Personally, absolutely love it. I'm glad to see that it's getting some TLC. I just want to see that keep happening and this game actually grow a little bit. Still no word on DLCs though. That's something that I would definitely like to see happen, but we've had no news on that front whatsoever. But thank you for joining me, guys, for this little update. I hope you guys are still enjoying the game, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy.